this way. Oh my Okay, now you're probably wondering what this video is all about, and the video is actually about a new tool that I installed, and it's getting harder and harder to lift these big heavy trees and pots and soil. Sometimes they can weigh up to upwards of 100 pounds, and I know from speaking to a lot of hobbyists that have gotten older and a little bit weaker with age, myself included, it gets a little bit harder to handle these larger trees without some help. And I don't always have somebody with me to be able to do certain types of work like repotting and lifting and things like that. And so I installed a new system, and I want to share it with you guys because I think it might change how everybody thinks about bigger, heavier trees and maybe some of the processes of repotting these larger guys.
Whew. Finally. Okay, I've got my crane arm installed. Now the bolts that came with this was a little bit too short, so I had to go out to the hardware store and buy some longer ones. That way I can attach nuts on the bottom. The ones that came with it barely touched the bottom of the table. So yeah, so went out. Now it's extra secure. And the way it's set up, and because it's always raining here, I also have a cover coming. It's actually a space heater cover, so I can protect it from the rains, protect it from rust when I'm not using it. And here in Seattle, we get a lot of that. So yeah, we'll put this thing to the test here very soon and have to devise a way so that I can connect that hook and then lift the tree and suspend it so I can work on the roots, you know, and then not have to borrow my nephew to come over to help. So I'm pretty happy with the area here. That arm extends out, and you can see here if it's, you know, all the way in, it can hold 1,000 pounds. I don't need that. 700 pounds, 600, 500, don't even need that. I mean, at most 200 probably. So yeah, and that arm can go pretty far out, so I can stretch down to here, pick up any tree, bring it up, swing it over to the table, do my repot that way. So pretty excited to put this thing to use. Okay, so how do we connect this tree to this crane? Well, in this case, this is a pre-bonsai Japanese black pine, and I have some stumps here that I'm going to drill some screws into, attach a high gauge wire, and then hook it onto this hook, and then use this crane to lift this. Now, this crane is used for typically mounted onto the back of a truck. You could do logs, you could do heavy machinery, or whatever it is that you need to lift. This thing helps you lift it. It's got a hydraulic pump for a jack, and then a pulley system that helps you lift the tree, so that way you're not using a lot of your back and you're not hurting yourself when lifting heavy things like this. So this crane can lift up to 700 pounds, which is way more than I need to. But you can see here, I mean, I'm doing the work of 2 men with just a single hand. Okay. And then I need to lock that guy into place. Let's jump off here. I am going to put my tub right here. So I am using tools without breaking my back. So that way I can increase the longevity of how long I can do this hobby without hurting myself. Okay. I'm going to swing this guy right over the top of this. Right there. Perfect. Take this sucker out, and I can lower that when I need to. But now I've got perfectly suspended tree and nobody to help me, which I don't need to anymore. Used to be like, hey, can I call a favor? Come over and help me lift something heavy. Oh my God, easy. Easy. Easy peasy. All right, so the tree's suspended. And look, I could do whatever it is I need to. And so I'm gonna actually lower the tree so that way I'm not stressing the crane as much. Let's put it in there, give it a little twist, and it's down. Easy peasy. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised nobody's talked about this. I mean, it's super simple and it's very effective. And now I can go in here, and there's those hydraulic little platforms, but that doesn't solve the problem of getting underneath to work on the root ball, right? And you still have to lift it up and over to the platform you're working on. This is a lifesaver, a back saver, and it only costs $150. Super easy, super cheap. Not super cheap, but you know, it's a lot cheaper than paying somebody to come over and
to help you out. Super easy. Okay, so there you go. I mean, this is the pulley crane system that I've installed onto my workbench. And gosh, I'm so happy that it works out exactly the way I had it pictured in my head. And so hopefully this gives you some inspiration and some ideas for yourself. If you don't have anybody to help you out, this is something you might think about to install. So yeah, try it out. Look at that. This is some beautiful mycorrhiza. It smells earthy. It smells like mushrooms, and I love that smell. It's like the scent of the forest. Okay, I've got my root ball cleaned up. That is how much soil came out of that root ball. And now, because I've had it hanging and drying for a little longer than I would like, I'm going to spray down the roots. That way they don't desiccate and dry out. Nice fine root system though. I did find a huge taproot that I had to saw out and then chip away underneath right there. You can see where I had to cut that. And yeah, use this thing. Slowly lower the tree. And then figure out what my front will be. It might be this way, about right there. Okay, that's what I'll do. And we're gonna, looks like I need to work the roots just a little bit in this pot. Not that way. That looks pretty decent that way. That way just a little. I think I like that. Just maybe bring it back a tiny smidge that way. Yeah, I like it. Okay, that will work. Trying to get this thing twisted in and tightened, secured and locked. That's good. All right, now we're gonna fill it up with soil. I'm gonna get a mixture of akadama, lava, and pumice. No bark, no organics, just all aggregate. Now I am just using a chopstick to kind of find all those pockets. What I'm trying to do is just fill around for where it's loose. But yeah, there we go. I mean, I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks. And I love this new crane system because it is very effective, it's strong, and I feel like I can have a lot more energy to do more trees and not be burnt out by the time I'm done with one. So yeah, there you go. Let's take a look.